Hall and will continue through Saturday.
And Town Square is just a few short blocks from the Civic Center, so if the action gets a little slow on the quarter, you got time between games, come on over here and enjoy the shopping.
Well, Monday on PM Magazine.
It's been 4 years since James Brady took the bullets meant for President Reagan. Visit the White House to see his courageous comeback.
Also next week, we'll find out what happens when Playboy magazine comes to the Twin Cities to search for the ideal girl of winter.
And do you recognize this guy? He's TV's funniest pitchman. Meet Vern's nosy neighbor.
Plus, we'll visit with the Bernie Bunch. Meredith Baxter Burney and David Burney are living happily ever after, caring for their brand new twins.
That's some of what we're doing next week on PM Magazine. Have a good weekend.
We'll see you then.
See you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Stay tuned for the 5 p.m. report here on Channel 4.
Shop Menards sale for top savings on quality Armstrong ceilings. On sale now, along with their famous Easy Up tile installation kit. Save on ceiling tile for every room, starting at just 24 cents a tile. Ceiling panels are on sale too. Textured, embossed, acoustical, and more. Starting at just $1.77. To top things off, Menards has Armstrong rebates to save you even more. So start at the top and save with Armstrong ceilings on sale now at Menards.
Big money at Menards.
It's almost Easter, and at Burlington Coat Factory, we have the clothes boys need. This top-quality American-made vested suit can be worn year-round. It's a fantastic buy at just $34.75. And this famous label machine-washable dress shirt is just $9.99. It's almost Easter, and at Burlington Coat Factory, we have the clothes girls need. Pretty spring dresses, lots of styles, priced 1/2 less than at the finest stores. It's almost Easter at Burlington Coat Factory.
About the time Car and Driver magazine stated that at Audi, the future of the automobile is being decided, so many people decided to buy the Audi 5000S. It became America's fastest-selling European sedan. And now you can lease an Audi 5000S for $298 a month.
WCCO Television, Minneapolis, St. Paul. Serving and informing the Twin Cities for 4 decades. This is WCCO Television, Minneapolis, St. Paul. And now, Don Shelby, Pat Miles, Bud Kraling, and Ralph John Fritz bring you Channel 4's 5 p.m. report.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us. Pat Miles has some time off. Among the items we're following today, Hennepin County officials hold a seminar to teach professionals how to deal with sex abuse cases.
And a former Northeast Minneapolis business says that the state makes it so difficult to clean up hazardous waste that it wants to take on the job itself.
And from our Washington newsroom, Jim Gately explains how the Twin Cities and the rest of Minnesota will fare under federal plans to reduce the deficit. The Senate version looks kinder than President Reagan's at this point. Details on all of these stories a little bit later. But we begin this afternoon with the hot water that the Minneapolis City Council was about to get itself into this morning.
You know, it has to do with the Cuban refugees arrested 2 days ago on smuggling charges, both drugs and guns. Police say their business in and around one Minneapolis bar is the cause of the concern, and as Marcia Fleur is here to explain, it was that bar that caused all the controversy at City Council chambers this morning.
Well, that's right. Councilmember Dennis Schulstad and several others were ready to close Joe's Bar and Grill down today, an action they admitted would be clearly illegal since it would deny due process to the owners of the establishment. But after 17 Cubans were arrested early Wednesday for drug and gun trafficking allegedly conducted in and around Joe's, the council felt the community was in real danger if the bar remained open another day. But cooler heads did prevail, and Joe's will stay open until its license expires in 10 days or until a license inspector determines in a hearing whether or not Joe's is culpable for what went on in and around that bar.
So the evidence shows that the licensee or agents have knowingly allowed narcotics trafficking, firearms violations, or other crimes to occur on the premises. Then the license inspector could order closed between whatever date that hearing is and April 1st. But after April 1st, as I said, the premises, because there's not a renewal at this point, would be closed in any event.
When I see little children in my ward that I've seen when they were 4 years old that are sweet little wonderful children, and when they're 10 years old, they're practically lost to society because some creep has gotten to them in the interim. It just makes me sick.
Council members want a dramatic action to put other bar owners on notice that if they tolerate drugs on their premises, the council will act. The attorney for the bar's owners had no comment after the resolution was passed, but earlier he said a hearing will show his clients are innocent of complicity in the alleged trafficking at Joe's.
All right, thank you very much. This next story, the result of another action in council chambers today. FMC, one of Minnesota's biggest defense contractors, is now free to apply for federal money to help build a new research and development center in Minneapolis. The city council approved the application for $1.5 million for an urban development action grant that's called UDAG. The approval came over the objections of some council members that the city should not stimulate the defense buildup. But since FMC expansion will create 600 to 800 jobs in the city, the majority chose jobs over any doubts that they may have had.
As WCCO television reported last night, the FBI is investigating that possible fraud was involved in the selection of the site for the Minneapolis Convention Center. The FBI is looking into reports that State Representative Jim Rice, lobbyist Irv Dauphin, and Minneapolis bar owner Danny Stevens may have played a part in a plan to make sure that the convention center would be built at the Grant Street site. Last December, the Convention Center Commission chose the Butler Square site over Grant Street. The 3 men under investigation have refused comment. Republicans in the Minnesota Senate today proposed a record $1.4 billion tax cut plan, which includes a 19% across-the-board cut in income taxes. The total package also includes property tax relief for businesses and agriculture, but not for homeowners. It would allow taxpayers to deduct individual retirement accounts on state tax forms. Republicans say they are able to offer more tax relief by holding state spending at or below the rate of inflation and by trimming some state programs. Democrats, however, are skeptical about that. President Reagan invited Republican senators to the White House today to talk about how to reduce the federal deficit. While the president listened to compromise plans on reducing the flow of red ink, he did not offer any himself. He has already said that he opposes the senators' plans for freezing Social Security benefits and restraining Pentagon spending. Just how would Minnesota fare under either of those plans? Jim Gately explains from our Washington newsroom. Jim.
Debbie, the federal budget debate will be going on 4 months, but so far the proposed changes have helped Minnesota and Wisconsin. The president was first to offer a deficit-cutting spending plan. Its reductions in domestic programs would have cost Minnesota about $270 million, but a Senate Budget Committee restored some social spending and cut the military.
We much prefer the Senate budget, of course. I mean, in many of the programs, they have put back in spending on a number of programs the president had either zeroed out or drastically cut.
DeShane claims that restored funding for Amtrak, general revenue sharing, federal aid to cities, education programs, and farm programs, among others, will make it easier for both residents and the state.
If the president's budget had gone through as proposed, the state then would have had to pick up the slack, as it were, or cut services.
Under the Senate proposed budget, in the Senate rather, Minnesota gets $160 million more. Wisconsin has no specific figures, except to say the state office said they have several $1 million more in Medicaid under the Senate proposal. Debbie and Don, back to you.
Thank you, Jim.
Appreciate it. Minnesota's unemployment rate dropped last month to 5.9%, which is below the national rate. That's down a full 0.5% from January, but state economists think the rate of decline is actually overstated. Still, everyone's happy that the rate is dropping at all. In Washington, the government reported consumer prices up last month by 0.3%, caused by a sharp rise in food prices. You see, the Florida freeze is the main reason for that. Economists say the February rise in consumer prices would have been even bigger had it not been for gasoline prices, which happened to fall last month. And factory orders for durable goods, that's a much-watched index to the economy, dipped slightly after going up in January. In Ohio, a handful of savings and loans reopened today, and a top official of one of them said not everyone who came in went out with a withdrawal. In fact, he said many of the people who came in were making deposits. The governor of Ohio closed the S&Ls a week ago after one of the big thrift institutions failed, and fears surfaced of a run on other S&Ls. Several thrift institutions reopened early yesterday, but only one was supposed to do that. Now there is an investigation why the others did.
Teaching people how to deal with sex abuse cases. That was the focus of a seminar in Hennepin County today, and we'll tell you about it when the Friday Five continues.
A multiple choice quiz
from Taco Bell. Our subject, the
works, combination platters. The question, which is your favorite? 1.
Our scrumptious Saucy Burrito Supreme platter.
Or 2.
Our mouth-watering Taco Bell Grande platter.
Or 3.
Our tasty Taco Light platter.
If you need some help, just ask for the works. Your answer just might be.
There's so much for your eyes at the optical department at Sears. Shatter-resistant lenses, Permalite scratch-resistant lenses, or True Vision no-line bifocals, tinted lenses, and every kind of contact lens. Come in and look us over.
There's more for your life
At the optical department.
at Sears.
Every stylish frame in our entire regular stock, half price when you buy prescription lenses. The optical department at Sears.
In with the old, out with the new. The great Toyota swap meet is on now. Your Toyota dealer has a big selection of new 85 trucks and cargo vans, so he's going swap happy. He wants to swap until every 4x4 is forgotten and every cargo van has vanished. Trade-in allowances may never be this high again. So come on in, swap your old tired tub for a tireless workhorse. Make your super swap deal this week during the great Toyota swap meet. On now at your Toyota dealer. Hurry!
Among some of the headlines from around the world this afternoon, South Africa's white minority government has appointed a special judicial commission to investigate police killings of 18 black protesters near Johannesburg yesterday. The protesters were on their way to a funeral, apparently were unarmed. In Beirut, the terrorist group, the Islamic Jihad, or Holy War, has kidnapped another foreign diplomat. This time, it's a French vice consul. 3 armed men seized him on his way to work. And in the Netherlands, former Nazi SS officer Pieter Menten has been released from prison early for good behavior. The 85-year-old Menten served 6 years for his role in the murders of dozens of Jews in Nazi-occupied Poland. No word yet on where he will go now, since Ireland has refused him entry. That's where his wife currently lives. Gene Cray, the St. Paul man who went on a shooting spree at a South St. Paul wedding last summer, was sentenced this morning in Dakota County Court. The 52-year-old man shot and killed one of the wedding guests and wounded 3 others. Cray was reportedly angry with the mother of the bride after she ended a relationship they'd been having. Last Friday, Cray pleaded guilty to 7 counts of murder and assault. Today, County Court Judge William Toohey sentenced him to 21 years and 8 months in Stillwater State Prison for the crimes.
An interesting statistic, Don. 15% of all families nationwide report sex abuse problems within the family. And with that high figure in mind, Hennepin County officials today held a seminar to instruct professionals on how to deal with sex abuse cases. Mark Watts reports on the seminar and the problem.
One doctor said sexual abuse could be the fastest growing crime in America, and that Hennepin County needs to learn more about it. One theme of today's seminar was how to help a parent improve the relationship with an abused child.
I encourage them to seek professional counseling with that. We have people in the community that are qualified to do that, and they do a good job.
The workshop was aimed mainly at the medical community. For example, how to conduct interviews with sexually abused victims using anatomical dolls. These dolls are controversial. Attorneys say their use sometimes misleads sexual abuse victims.
I did a doll interview once in a case, and it went to court. The man was charged with criminal sexual conduct, and when he came out of court, he said, I think to his attorney, he said, oh, they got me with the dolls. And in fact, I think he called them the mechanical dolls rather than the anatomical dolls. There's nothing mechanical about them.
Doctors stress the importance of providing the child with emotional support. Nurses conduct examinations before the interview to verify sexual abuse has occurred. Other routine tests are performed to make sure the child is safe.
One doctor says the sexual abuse prevention program here already is one of the nation's finest. 95 cases are reported every month, and doctors hope to reduce that number in half by the end of the year. Mark Watts, WCCO Television News, Minneapolis.
Health officials in St. Paul are concerned about the number of young children who have not had immunization shots. They estimate that 1,500 children under 5 years old need DPT and booster shots. Most are from low-income families, and many are the children of Hmong refugees. Less than a handful of children showed up for shots when the health department set up clinics recently at 2 housing projects. And next week, there will be a meeting at the state health department to seek solutions to that problem. Well, our weather is turning ugly again, just in time for the weekend, unfortunately. And Bud Kraling will be along shortly to tell us about it when the Friday 5 continues.
H&R Block, where more Americans find a bigger refund.
I couldn't have done it without you.
I couldn't have done it without you.
Couldn't have done it without you.
I couldn't have done it without you. Couldn't have done it without you.
Now, we can't promise everyone this, but in a recent survey of customers who got refunds, 3 out of 4 believe they got bigger refunds than if they did their own taxes. 3 out of 4.
I couldn't have done it without you.
H&R Block, where more Americans find a bigger refund.
What can we find for you?
Save big bucks on trucks at Village Chevrolet. Bob Blady with big bucks saving on over 100 brand new trucks. Like this full-size pickup, $163 a month and no money down, or save to $1,500 on a purchase. Or this S10 pickup, $160 a month and no money down, or save to $1,200 on a purchase. And for a limited time, get low 8.8% financing on S10 pickups. Whatever your truck needs, save big bucks right now at Village Chevrolet. Don't blow the sweetest little deal in town.
I loved your party.
I love your Aramis.
Could we possibly tear ourselves away from this crowd?
Oh, you don't like my dogs?
Like them. I'm absolutely attached to them. If I kiss you, will you call them off?
The Aramis Umbrella. Your gift with any $10 purchase of Aramis, Devon, Aramis 900, or JHL. Now at Dayton's.
There's a legend folks tell about a creature named Bigfoot. He appears once a year at Minor Ford, right before a big snowfall. I hear tell to celebrate, Minor Ford puts every car, truck, and 4x4 on sale up at 694 and Silver Lake Road in Bigfoot Country. Minor calls it their after Bigfoot sale. I call it crushing high prices.
Nothing could be finer than to buy your car from Minor. Hey, come on into Minor Ford.
Time to check with Dale Dobish, the captain of the CCO Skies. Come on in, Dale.
All right, Don. Good afternoon to you and everyone. Right now, looking at an accident westbound 94 down near 25th Avenue. It's, well, just by Augsburg College in that area. Westbound traffic, of course, is pretty much stopped. Accident in the center lane. Fortunately, only one injury, and that's reported to be a minor injury, so they should be getting this cleaned up here pretty quick, but it's really created some problems down on both east and westbound 94. Pretty much stopped traffic here. Elsewhere around the metro area, things moving along pretty much normally for a Friday afternoon. Heavy traffic, of course, southbound and all that, but this is the major problem right now. We'll keep an eye on things, get back to you a little bit later.
Yeah, we'll see in just a moment, Dale. We'll get one last look at that green grass out there.
Can we take another look?
Well, we'll have at the end of the show. I want everybody to pay very close attention, take a real nice look at the green.
Stay tuned for that.
Is there a chance that rain could kind of make it slushy and not real sticky snow?
Well, it looks like rain turning to wet snow, but temperatures are going to keep the snow pretty much melted on the highways. A lot of moisture going over Minnehaha Falls, but we're going to add a little more to that over the weekend. We almost got through our month of tournaments without that usual snowstorm, but not quite. Snow forecast for tomorrow for the final day or Saturday of the Boys State High School basketball tournament. It's still sunny, 56 degrees. Humidity at only 20%. The wind is from the east at 15 miles an hour. Pressure reading is 2990 with the pressure falling. In the metro area, here are the snow facts so that you can kind of add on a little snow that we're forecasting for tomorrow. This month, we've had 21.5 inches of snow, and for the season, we are at 57.4. You may recall, just a year ago today, our season total was 88 inches. But it's still sunny in the metro area. We have a combination of travel advisories and stockman's advisories that include much of South Dakota for tonight. Travel could be hazardous in some of those areas, and the weather stressful to livestock. Now, the stockman's advisory will continue tomorrow also for the eastern part of South Dakota. Clouds moved into the Dakotas today and have just now moved into the western and the northern part of Minnesota. Through North Dakota, there was some light snow at Dickinson, mostly scattered showers around Valley City. The heaviest rain in South Dakota has been around Huron, and Marshalltown, Iowa has had moderate showers through the afternoon. The clouds are moving to the north, incidentally, in Iowa, and kind of closing in from the west and from the south into Minnesota. It's very windy on the eastern slopes of the Rockies today. That's a pretty good storm pattern developing to the west of us. Winds gusting up to 50 miles an hour at Scottsbluff, Nebraska, and at Cheyenne, Wyoming at 58 miles an hour. And a lot of moisture flowing north of that cold front that's moving in from the west. There's a lot of rain in here today through part of the Ohio and Tennessee Valley, northern Georgia, and up to as far to the northeast as the northern part of Delaware. Afternoon temperatures coolest to the west of us at Yellowstone Park. It was only 21 degrees this afternoon. Denver reported windy conditions in 45. It was 48 at Seattle. At Louisville this afternoon, there was rain in 54 and a half-inch rain at Cape Hatteras. Afternoon temperature at 50. The warmest temperature, sunny the southeast, 87 degrees at Homestead, Florida. Tonight in the Twin Cities, increasing cloudiness with showers late evening. The low temperature tonight is going to stay mild, 40 degrees. For tomorrow, cloudy rain showers changing to snow showers by evening. Accumulation 1 to 2 inches. Afternoon temperature 44, evening temperature 28. And then on Sunday, cloudy, snow tapering off, and the temperature on Sunday at 38 degrees. But it looks like it's going to stay warm enough so the snow is going to melt on the highway. Stay on the grass in your front yard.
See, I don't mind it because now I don't have to come up with any excuses for not washing my car.
It's a good reason, though.
Despite the snow and the rain, your thoughts may be turning to spring now, but the State Department of Natural Resources is looking ahead to next winter and wondering how it is going to maintain 1,200 miles of cross-country ski trails. The state made only a paltry $70,000 on cross-country skiing this winter season due to a late snow and an early melt. The DNR is quietly urging skiers to get in touch with their state lawmakers to grant some extra maintenance money for next winter. Otherwise, some of the trails might not be groomed at all, and some perhaps only once a week or less. The state began charging for cross-country skiing 2 years ago, but revenues are still falling short of needs. A former Northeast Minneapolis company wants to take matters into its own hands to get a waste site clean. We'll tell you about it when we return.
You want to make a great car deal, right? You want to save thousands of coconuts, right? You want to be a champ, not a chimp, right? You want to see the team at Hopkins Dodge, right?
Then run on over to Hopkins Dodge this Saturday for the sale of the year with 84s as low as $49.85, 83s as low as $39.85, and 50 cars under $29.85. For a no-monkey business sale, come to Hopkins Dodge this Saturday.
Hello? Hi, Jan.
Dave!
I just want to tell you, Steve, playing golf with you is a real experience.
Hey, not everybody can make shots like those.
Seriously, Steve.
Whether it's family or friends, whether they live out of town or just a few minutes away.
What, 30 minutes away?
Remember,
So much left to say.
Call me next week, and I'll let you know.
Know what?
Your score. It'll take me that long to add it up.
Don't drift away. You never really know just where you will be. You never really know just who you will see. But when that Nexus look is coming through, you can be sure they'll be watching you. 'Cause Nexus gets you noticed, that clean and shiny hair. Nexus gets you noticed, that skin beyond compare. Nexus gets you noticed anywhere.
You have heard companies complain about how hard it is to do business in Minnesota. Well, here is one about a company that complains that it is also hard to go out of business in Minnesota. The Whitaker Company closed its plant in northeast Minneapolis 4 years ago, but state regulations have prevented it from cleaning up the former industrial site. Here's Colleen Needles with a story.
Up until 4 years ago, the Whitaker Corporation manufactured resins and coatings here in northeast Minneapolis. Now the property lies empty except for 21 underground storage tanks and a dump site suspected of holding dozens of barrels containing unknown chemicals, all of which the State Pollution Control Agency says must go. Whitaker officials say they'd like to oblige, but today they complain that state regulations hamper progress.
We don't need to be backed up against the wall and the state hold a gun at our head to be responsible citizens. We haven't done anything wrong.
According to Whitaker, all of this mess was here when it bought the property 17 years ago. But now it says it is willing to move it, and it's hired a reputable engineering firm to do the job. Still, it says the PCA demands more studying, more plans, and Whitaker and Minneapolis officials say they are fed up.
I really believe, in a nutshell, it's just a fear of making a decision. In case you're wrong. It's so easy to be wishy-washy or pass the buck, you know, thinking somebody else is going to do it, or get into a study program. And the study program never ends, because one study leads to the next study, to the next study, and pretty soon 10 years pass. You've done nothing.
The PCA defends its procedures. It says any cleanup operation has to have a plan.
So that we're sure that when the site cleanup is completed, that we have taken care of all of the problems.
PCA officials also say they've been after Whitaker for years to get going on the cleanup, and they say it was only after they threatened to use federal Superfund money to do it that the corporation got going. Still, Whitaker protests.
Day before yesterday, when we pulled a drum out, they said, whoa, stop. It's going to be several months before anything else is done here. We said, no way.
Regardless of what the state does, the Whitaker Corporation says it just wants to be done with this mess. And come Tuesday, it plans to dig up the rest of the tanks and continue the cleanup. And as one spokesman put it, if we end up in court over this, so be it. We tried. Colleen Needles, WCCO Television News, Minneapolis.
Of course, all the hullabaloo over the last couple of weeks has been about high school hockey, but the attention is now turned to basketball, and these semifinals and finals are shaping up to be some real contests.
Yeah, we had semifinal action in Class A today, and the party is over now for Tiny Ceylon.
Well, Cinderella clubs, sometimes they just don't go all the way to the ball.
45 kids in the entire top 3 grades in that school. And it reminds me that 25 years ago, 1960, that tiny team from Edgerton won the championship.
With due respect to Edgerton, I thought you were going to brag a little about Sleepy Eye.
Oh, no, that was 1957. That was a little.
See, I knew you were
earlier.
going to brag a little bit about Sleepy Eye.
That was Grafentine, Verdus, Wyoda, Bruin. No, that's Fritz. Edgerton we're talking about.
Oh, okay.
De La Salle and Winona Cotter advanced to the finals in Class A today. De La Salle has been the top-rated team in Class A, and Tiny Ceylon was simply overmatched in today's first semifinal game. Watch for number 10 here. Beautiful ball player down here. De La Salle after the steal. Great move in the fast break layup. That's Damon Dragotis. He's a 6-foot senior. 23 points for Dragotis today. Todd Fritz here misses the free throw. And Ceylon, the picture passing. Watch this picture passing on De La Salle's part here. Number 32 is scoring, Mike Wynn. And here's what we mean when we say Damon Dragotis can shoot the eyes out of the basket. De La Salle is 62-51 winner over Ceylon. Now, second game this afternoon, Greenway came into that game against Winona Cotter, averaging 70 points a game. But Cotter's defense actually was the undoing factor here, plus some offense like this. The result was a 70-43 Cotter win in a breeze. Number 22, Jeff Glowacki with the basket. He was high with 25. And number 20 coming up for Cotter is Matt Maley scoring this basket. Unlike Greenway, Cotter was not a scoring machine this year. Matter of fact, today was the first time all year in which Cotter scored 70 points in a game. That final again was 70-43 for Cotter. Tonight, semifinals, Class AA, and in the 7:05 game, it's Minneapolis North. They're unbeaten, meeting a team from the north, Duluth Central. Then it's unbeaten White Bear Lake, looking for its 51st straight win against upset-minded Bloomington Jefferson. So, as you pointed out, Don, I think the semifinal and final round should be a lot closer. I haven't really had many close games in this tournament thus far.
White Bear and North in the finals.
White Bear and North? That's who everyone's picking. You might as well pick them, too.
Oh. Well, I'm going to have some rush hour traffic in a moment.
You talked, and at W Light 103 FM, they listened. You said you enjoy a wide variety of music, including your favorite oldies. And 80% of you who listen to W Light said a lot of music is very important. Most of you who listen to KS 95 told us a lot of music is important to you, too. You don't have to say it twice. You want more music? Listen to W Light 103 FM. It's light rock and less talk.
Did you know that here at Towsley Ford Subaru in White Bear Lake, we keep an inventory that is stupendous, miraculous, incredible, gigantic. There are not enough words to describe it. What you see taken from a helicopter is only part of our inventory. We have a big storage lot up the road with even more. We believe it's the biggest selection of Ford cars and trucks in the United States, always over 1,000. Now, the reason is so you can come to White Bear Lake and find exactly the model and color you want with the options you want and drive it away the same day. Not wait 6 weeks. Always worth a trip to get the #1 price from the #1 dealer in the Northland, Towsley.
Cheer up. Take heart. You need never be intimidated by some software again, because now there's ability. Business software that's easy to learn. Business software that's easy to use. You've always had the drive to get ahead. You've always had the ability. But now you have the ability.
Over 400,000 Minnesotans have Delta Dental group coverage, more than twice as many as Delta's closest competitor. Why the difference? Delta simply offers more benefits that really matter to employers and employees. Delta's goal is long-term dental health for more Minnesota people, and it's working. It pays to keep your teeth in good biting condition.
Time now is 5:28. As Bud Kraling mentioned a few minutes ago, we're expecting temperatures in the 30s with some snow, possibly some rain tomorrow. And I suppose it's about the last day that some of those people are going to be able to enjoy their convertibles for a while, huh, Dale?
Well, I hope not, Debbie. I hope it, I'd like to see them wrong in that forecast, I guess, personally. Right now, looking at the traffic here on 94, still some backup remaining. The accident has cleared, Debbie, on the westbound 94 near 25th, but still some real backup. Clear back to Vandalia and westbound. It should get moving here pretty quick. Also some other problems, just slow traffic, general heavy Friday afternoon traffic. But look at that nice, beautiful sunshine shining off the river and the bridge. Hey, we're going to leave you now. Everybody drive carefully over the weekend. We're going to take a few days off next week, so we'll talk to you in about a week.
All right, Dale. Thank you very much. Have a nice time off. You're going to have some time off from this show.
Right,
Pat Miles is back on the show a little later on, probably starting Monday, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well deserved vacation after Ethiopia. Talking about that snow, you know, I saw a guy the other day in my neighborhood shoveling snow off of his lawn just to make sure all of it was gone just in time for
so I wouldn't have to look at it
this
anymore.
next snowstorm. Coming up on our news in 1/2 hour, we're going to update efforts to increase Minnesota's drinking age to 21. And a group of Amhoist workers, soon to lose their jobs, are still upset over the severance pay plan, and they're going to court over it. Mike Strand will have that story. And later on, Tony Vigneri will update us on a story that we broke last night at 10, that being the investigation into some kind of scheme involving the convention center site selection process. Those stories and more coming up, along with sports and weather at 6. But first, Charles Carrollton, CBS.
Good evening. This is